how to find, freight for the box trucks. And obviously, when we were planning this, live stream as far as box truck goes, and quick disclaimer: we are not specialized in the box truck market, so we are specialized in the flatbed market. But we get a lot of questions as far as, Kamal, can you do a video as far as box truck go? So we have tips and tactics and strategies, and in today's live stream we'll be talking about the why box truck and what is it and how it's different from big semi trucks. So we'll be talking about the market, and obviously we'll be talking about advantages and disadvantages going into this business. Well, both business models, which is semi trucks and the box trucks, they have their own advantages and disadvantages. So what we did is that we have quite a bit of experience using load boards, and what we did is that we contacted our friends and families who are in the box truck business, and we have a lot of students that they are in the box truck business, and they are carriers as well as they're independent freight dispatchers. So we contacted them and asked about tips and tactics and strategies, and then we have our tactics, strategies. So what we did is that we just combined, and we said, okay, let's do a live stream video and help people with the box truck owners. And obviously, if you're an independent dispatcher or you wanted to become an independent freight dispatcher, you get a lot of tips and tactics and strategies from this live video. And again, we have this, chat is available. So if you guys have questions, please let me know. And then we'll, I'll be sharing my screen. We'll log into DAT Power. And by the way, for this live stream, I'll be using the load board called DAT Power. It's also known as the DAT or the Power Load Board. So I'll log into my load board. And again, please, if you have questions, let me know. So we'll just go ahead and talk about box truck. So, and first thing first, let me share my screen real quick with you guys. Let me go here. There you go. Let me turn this off. There you go. So for those of you who don't know the box truck, so this is how it looks, right? So in a basic, simple way of, saying this, there are different sizes. It could be like, what I see is that there's a 26 box truck. This is I see most of the time. So this is, you can get the idea, like when we talk about box truck, maybe you don't know, like, Kamal, what are you talking about? What is this box truck? And how they're different. We have, obviously, the don't be confused with drive-in. Drive-in is, this one is actually the drive-in, 53 feet drive-in. So this is different. This is the box truck. So we're talking about the box truck. Please don't be confused as far as the drive-in goes. So this is a commercial truck, which means for the box truck. And this is what we realize why people go into this market is because it's scalable. And going into this business is very easy. You can find, used truck, meaning box truck, very cheap, right? And then you can, buy them bulk. So I have, a couple of friends that they are in the box truck business. They have, like hundreds of these trucks because like it's very cheap. As I said, it's, it's scalable, but that is advantage, right? So it's scalable. You can, jump into this business and, start, your business right away. You don't need, a lot of capital to start this business. But the disadvantage is that finding loads for this type of trucks, it's hard. There are some, maybe it's not a well-known load boards, but we don't use them since we're in the flatbed market. But there are some subscriptions, but they're expensive. And people asking us questions as far as, Kamal, can we use DAT load boards to find the, loads for our trucks? And obviously, yes, you can. And we have a couple of students, they are into, box truck, they have carriers and, they have box trucks. So, there are some tactics how you can use the load board. So I'll be showing you right now. So let me log in. Well, I already logged in. So this is, by the way, Let me do full screen so you can see. So this is the power load board, right? Many of you wanted to, get the subscription. And by the way, if you wanted to get a subscription, there will be links below this video, so you can find DAT Power, how you can join or buy the subscription for DAT Power. And then if you use my link, it will be like 30 days free trial. You can start, booking loads. So when you log in, this is basically what you see. I'll just quickly touch a couple of tabs here. But if you wanted to go in depth learning about this, I have another video. It's in-depth load board training. I believe the title is in-depth load board training 2020. So you can search. That is about hour and a half video. It's like teaches you everything, almost everything about this load board. So this power load board is a little bit expensive. It's about $150 per month. There is Trucker's Edge Pro, which is about $100. So we'll be using for this live stream, we'll be using power load board. As you can see, it's a power load board. Right off the bat, we're not going into details. We're not talking about tools, but what we'll go into do is that we'll talk about these important tabs, and then I'll be showing you how you can use our tactics and strategies, how you can find loads for your box truck. Obviously, these two, post loads and search loads, these two are for the brokers, and it makes sense. Brokers, they have loads. Brokers, they search for trucks. So if I'm a broker, what I'll do is that I will, click here, post loads, and whatever the loads I have, I'll just, make those entries. And if I have loads and I want to search for trucks, then I will the search for trucks. And these two tabs are actually for carriers and independent freight dispatchers. So 99% of the time, you'll be using these two tabs. The important thing here is to post your trucks for your carriers. So if you're an independent freight dispatcher, you will be using this by clicking here and then, posting your truck. And this is how it looks, right? So you starting by where your truck is and then where you're going. Maybe you can put anywhere, and then the type of truck. Is it, what are you looking for? Is it partial load or full load, and etc. Right? So we're not going into detail because, as I said, I have a video about this. So, and again, why you're posting? Because as you can see, brokers using only these two tabs, as I said, right? So if you post trucks, then when they have a freight or loads, then they will be searching trucks, right? So then if you post a truck, then your trucks will show up when brokers searching for trucks. So that is really, really important. And we'll go to search loads. This is where the magic happens. And when you click search load, this is what you see right after the bat when you purchase your subscription. And guys, I see you're posting your comments, and please do, but let me cover this real quick, and then I'll start taking your questions. And a lot of people, what I realize is, new coming independent freight dispatchers, and there are some, carriers that they don't know how to use when it comes to, the box truck. Obviously, these load boards, which are truckstop.com, and then this power load boards, which is DAT Solutions products, they're, their market are bigger trucks, right? Which is semi trucks. So we're looking for the box truck loads. First thing first, the truck, and we will have the origin, we have destination, we have availability, we have the deadhead, and then the deadhead origin, and then deadhead destination, and then it's full or partial load. So the length, then the weight. So this is what we're gonna do. When you put as far as your truck goes, the truck type, right? So you must tackle this, only. Then you will have this drop down menu, and you will get, more information here, right? Or more, so you can select other, let's say, type of trucks, for example. So if we click any, as you can see, what we have limited, right? As far as choices go. So we have these. And obviously, we will have, the vans, and then we will have flatbeds, and we have, reefers. These are the three biggest markets. And obviously, then the fourth one is the car hauling. You must tackle this only, as you can see, right? So you switch to only, and now you have more options. So when I say more options, and you can see, when you scroll down, you will see that there is a straight box truck, right? Then also is a straight box truck. So it is a box truck basically, right? So you click on that, and then this is where I learned a couple of tactics from other carriers, is that they also choose this van. Let me scroll down. So we have this. Let me see, van hotshot. Yes, so this is what it is, right? So they choose these two, right? And then obviously we have origin. So here's another tactic, right? So if you really wanted to see how many loads we have right now, for example, and obviously maybe today will be less searches because today is Friday, right? So what you will do is that maybe you're experienced dispatcher, maybe you're not. But if you're a beginner, what you will do is that you will put origin. For example, you will put Atlanta, let's say Georgia. And as far as destination goes, maybe you're putting, like, I don't know, let's do Houston, for example, right? So we'll do Houston, Texas, and then searching, okay, for box truck, let's do today and tomorrow. And origin, deadhead, you will be putting, like, I don't know, maybe 150, maybe 250. Let's do 250 and leave this again, maybe 250. And I'll be explaining this in detail, just bear with me. And then FP stands for, what are you looking for? Is it the partial load? Is it the full load? And then what you do is that you search for both, right? So when it comes to length, the size of the truck, what do you put is that what we'll do is for 26 foot box truck, let's say, right? And as far as weight goes, and what I know is that it should be less than 10,000 pounds, because if it's going above, the gross weight goes above the 10,000 pounds, then you need commercial driver license, which is CDL. So then you will put, let's say, 10,000. Now you click search. What do you see? You have about like 1, 2, 3, 4, matches, for example, or total results, I would say. Not enough. And obviously with this, what you're thinking is that, oh my God, box truck, business is not for me. Finding loads for this is really hard. So what should I do? So now we'll be using, tactics and strategies. And for this, we'll be using what we have is the DAT zip zone, right? So this is basically, zones in the United States, right? So they're total of 10, but they start from 0, like Z0 and then Z1, but total of their 10 zones. Think of it that way. And each zone, will include, several states, right? So as you can see, Z0 over here, has these 4 states. I mean, the 7 states. And then obviously Z3, then it will have about 5 states, which is Alabama, Florida, Georgia, the Mississippi, and Tennessee. So what I will do is that this is another tactic. So if you're taking notes, what I'll do is that I will include all of the zones. So we'll come back and edit this. So now instead of origin, so I want to see how many loads right now, right? So what I'll do is that I will start including these zones. So it's Z0, Z1, right? And it goes Z3, Z4, Z5, Z6, Z7, Z8, Z9, and we have total of 10 zones. So this is what we're doing. We're doing a research, right? And this is the third component into this. And this is really important. This is another strategy. So you don't put any destination. You just leave as a blank, because we want to see how many loads out there, right? And obviously we do, yes, we need both. We need 26 box truck. And then as far as weight, what I'll do, again, you can leave as it is, but I will just, just leave as a blank. So now we have 4 results right now, right? So when I do, hit this search, this is what happens. And again, there won't be any, not many, I would say, loads, because today is a Friday. But we did yesterday's searches. We found about 7,000 loads popped up, right? So right off the bat, what do you see? You have this age when it was posted, pickup, truck top. Obviously, as you can see, this is for box truck. Origin, destination, and then the company, it contact, length, and then weight. What do you do? what I will do is that click on this rate, so to see, which lane pays the best, right? So as you can see, now we have the 6,500, right, 6,300, and the 6,000, and list goes on and on. So this is where you see, okay, so you start doing your searches. I mean, your the market analysis, call it that way, or doing your research. Now you can see, okay, this broker posts loads in this lane, right? And as you can see, the length is 12, and then we have 26, and then we have obviously the weight, right? Now this will be maybe, let's say, full load for the box truck, but we have what we call is the less than truckload or the partial load. So what will happen is that you will make, or your carrier will make more money if you will find these loads. For example, 12 feet and a 10,000 pounds, maybe there will be 10 feet and 2,000 pounds, and then maybe they'll pay a couple $1,000 maybe for that load. And what you do is that you get more of those loads inside one box truck, for example. This is how you do your research, and basically this is how you search loads for your box truck. So let me go real quick. Since I'm here, I had a comment about, Kamal, can you show me how you can find load for the power only? Power only, for those of you who don't know, power only is when you have just a truck, the semi truck, and then you don't have the trailer. So what you will do is that then again you go back, edit, you just get rid of this and look for, and again you must tackle this, right? Any or only. Then you go to power only, right? So what that means is that you will have just truck, okay, and then the broker or the shipper, they will be giving you or providing you the trailers you need, right? Or they need, for example. Okay, so you just put PO, and then again origin, you can put, for example, Atlanta, and then the destination. And again, this is a tactic that you can use, living these all the zones, right? This is how people finding freight, guys. So if you say, Kamal, we're using different tactics, then yeah, more power to you. You can do that. But this is what I see how people make money in this industry. So, and again, not putting the destination, what we'll do is that we'll click search, and then these are the let me go back real quick. This is for the power only. So with the power only, the thing is that they are, what you can say is that contracted freight. For example, it's maybe there's a seasonal, for if you have a trailer, for example, drive in, or you have a reefer, or you have a flatbed, for example, or a step decks, you will find a load, and then you book a load, negotiate the rate with the broker, and then you dispatch a load. For example, I'm talking about if you are a independent freight dispatcher in you serving carriers. So that is that, right? So you pick a load, and then you find a load, you book a load, and then you dispatch a load. But with power only is different. It's where you get contract from a broker or the shipper. Contract can be anywhere from 2 weeks up to maybe a year of work. So what will happen is that there will be a shipper or company that they need a broker with trucks, right? So they have their trailers. Usually it's they are a shippers, and then they will contact with the broker saying, hey, we have this job for you. So if you have carriers, then let's connect, for example. And again, in a simple way of saying this. So you can do this by zones, and again, use this. You can download for free. It's you can go online and type DAT. Just DAT.com/ you can put like zip zone or DAT zip zone. You can type, and then this is what you will have, and start using it. Right. So let me stop sharing, and let me go back to the screen real quick and have questions. Let's see what we have. So, and guys, if you liking it, if you guys getting out value out of this, please let me know. So let me have this real quick. So Jalil says, hi, is it for US or Europe? So this is for US market. So, and again, don't think that if you're in Europe, or maybe you are in Europe right now and you're thinking that, oh, this is for the United States, but I can't dispatch or something like that. But obviously you can watch, other videos that we have in this channel that, teaches you how you can become independent freight dispatcher, and you can be anywhere and dispatch trucks in the United States. So this is the box truck business is specifically for US market. So let me get, okay, you're welcome. Okay, so let me have this question real quick. What's the difference between DAT Power and Trucker's Edge? Let me go and then show you an example real quick. Then, the biggest difference in obviously price point, the DAT Power is $150 per month, and then Trucker's Edge Pro is about $100. There's a $50 difference. But I think, in my opinion, the biggest difference is the live feed. Live feed, when brokers post a load, if you're using DAT Power, you will see loads right away, like just within seconds. But if you're using the Trucker's Edge Pro, then load will be available right after, let's say, brokers post a load. It take a couple of minutes to pop up on your searches. That is a difference. Since the seconds are really important in this transportation business, then obviously people will be buying the DAT Power subscription. So let me see. Okay, let me have this question real quick. Richard says, why didn't I get started at the beginning? Okay, so Richard, I don't like, the question is not clear, but why didn't get I started at the beginning? Meaning what? So let me see. Okay, let me have. Oh, there are a lot of questions. Okay. Okay, let me have this question real quick. Abdul Hakim says, I'm not in the USA and have the skills to the maximum. Where can I start from? Okay, so you're not in the United States and you want to start, obviously, I'm assuming, independent freight dispatching, business. And again, what you will do is that if you're out of the states, what you will do is that you will use companies like registered agent. In a basic way of saying this, it's a company located in the United States. They will be creating the LLC or the company for you, so they will be receiving all the paperwork, meaning company paperwork, behalf, right? So for behalf of, like, if you're outside the United States, you're not obviously receiving the documents, so they will be receiving on your behalf, right? So they will be in the United States, you'll be out of the United States. Think about, like, they will be helping you running your business in a simple way of explaining this. So you can definitely do that, but where you can start, and obviously I don't know if you have training or not, but this is, I think, will be the best way to start. But if you really need in-depth training, there links below this video, so you can find those links and you can get started if you wanted to. So let me take more questions. Okay, so let me go back. This is currently live, so I won't be able to see the beginning till. Oh, I see. Yeah. So this is live right now. So, but right after I, finish this live, so it will be posted. So it will be available too. So you can, to go back and, learn. Okay. So, yeah, absolutely. Post the recording, upload it, watch it from beginning. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we'll do. So, okay, so we have Facebook people also watching this live stream inside the Facebook as well. So, okay, let's see, this is the question. There you go. So it would be wise to use the zone feature with any type of truck you have. Yes, what we do is that, yes, and again, when I say we do, we operate a little bit differently. We have import export business side of it as well. So what we do is that we connect with shippers, and we have a lot of contracts, so we work directly with them. But yes, and we use, as I said, we use load boards less than 10, I would say less than 5% now, but we definitely use these zones. And if especially if you're new, then I would definitely recommend using that, and it's free, right? So let's see. It just seems easier to where you are doing. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let me have this question. Viz says, glad I found this channel. Okay. Been all as well. Thanks for the info. You're welcome. We'll have my, okay, MC number, let's say number in 2 weeks. Great, great. Okay. So let me have this. Okay, I live outside the US. What service provider should I use for US virtual number? Well, virtual number, here how it goes. A lot of our students, they're using Velantro, and I'll include the link below this, video. The Velantro is the company that provide and, supports our students as well. So the Velantro will be the company. Let me see. Okay, so let me take. Svetlana says, if this truck is allowed to weigh under 10,000 pounds, is that with the load? Then you have to book. Okay, look for the load less than 10,000 pounds. Yeah. So Svetlana, there's a thing is that we have different size, right? So the 10,000 pounds is where the commercial driver license kicks in and DOT number kicks in. So the box truck owners, they really, because of the scalability of this business, they will be hiring a lot of drivers. They don't have, CDLs, so they will keep the, the capacity below the 10,000 pounds. Yes, you're right. Let me see. Okay, let's take a look. Question from Facebook. If you are just starting out, would you just use the regulate? Actually, I think he's trying to say DAT, which is about $40. Yes, you can do that, but I would highly recommend if you're going after, let's say, uh, purchasing the Trucker's Edge, then I would recommend using Trucker's Edge Pro. But if you really trying to, control your expenses, then definitely you can, start with $39.99. Yeah. So, but I would recommend is using at least, the Trucker's Edge Pro. So let's see. Okay, let me see about this question. Do you give a disputing service? Not sure about. Please give me more info about this question. So, disputing service as for as. So let's go. Okay, so thank you. You're welcome. Okay, let's go take a look. This question: as a carrier, would you suggest that I use DAT Power or Trucker's Edge because Power is a live feed? Yes, and therefore more up to date. Absolutely. So if you're a carrier, I would definitely recommend using DAT Power. So if you're using, if you can use the link that is a promotional link and there's no extra charge for you. So that is affiliated link. So we are the authorized resellers for the DAT. So if you can use that link, then you'll get 30-day free trial, and it's a win-win situation. You just start booking loads. You have 30 days. So yeah, absolutely, I would recommend DAT Power. Okay, let's go back. Okay, Kamal, does the broker provide the bill of lading to the dispatcher or the driver carrier upon delivery? Upon delivery, and this is bill of lading. Think about it's a receipt, let's say. For the freight, think about it that way. That is the bill of lading. But at the same time, this bill of lading can be used as a POD, which is proof of delivery. Since we're talking about the delivery, yes, your driver or the carrier, they will give you the POD right after the delivery. And sometimes you will receive the bill of lading. There will be brokers that requiring you, the bill of lading, and there will be scenarios that your broker will send the bill of lading. So don't be confused. It seems like the complicated, but you will get the proof of delivery when you deliver, and bill of lading can be sent from the broker. You can receive from the broker, and this bill of lading also can be used as a proof of delivery. So let's see. Okay. Let's take another question from Facebook. What is the main purpose of a box truck? Okay. Is it mainly for small distances? I have friends that, they go nationwide. They have a lot of, trucks. That would be the case that metro areas, yes. Also, can you clarify deadhead means? I'm a little confused about that. Yeah, yes, absolutely. So here's the thing. The main purpose in we have this I have I haven't shared actual tactics or strategies that I would share with you guys. I would say different strategy if you are box truck owner, for example. There really there are a lot of businesses out there that they will need your truck, for example. I'll talk about in a minute. But the main purpose is just pick and go. For example, think about Ashley. If you buy let's say, I'll give you an example. We bought furniture from Ashley. What happened is that the delivery guy delivered, but it wasn't from Ashley. It was a contractor that works for Ashley, right? Works for Ashley. Is not an owner operator. It's basically what the system goes like this. So Ashley Distribution Center or warehouse will be contracting with the box truck owners, and if the Ashley's customer buy furniture, then the whatever the manager in that, let's say, warehouse, then they will be reaching out to you and then say, hey, we have this order, can you deliver, let's say, in this state, or I would say in this city, for example. And this is how it goes. So deadhead origin and deadhead destination. Deadhead meaning, let me put this in a language that you can understand, because since you're confused about this, if my truck in Atlanta, Georgia, and we're going to pick a load, let's say, in about 150 miles away from Atlanta, Georgia, so that then that 150 miles also empty miles, which is deadhead, we're not making any money, which is, we're going to pick up this load and we're deadheading, or we just, there's no load, right? It's like empty miles. Think about that way. So nobody pays us. We just go there, then we pick up, the load. That is the deadhead. So I hope this helps. So let me see. Okay, let's take another question from Facebook. As a independent truck dispatcher, okay, that can operate anywhere, of course. Yes. Would you say it were wise to potentially hire dispatchers not located in my immediate area to work for my company? So even though I'm in Miami, can I hire a dispatcher in other states to work for me? Yeah, that's the beauty of this, business model. So if you have, independent freight dispatching business, and obviously you start with yourself, you start dispatching other trucks, then obviously you will be hiring people. It could be in-house dispatchers, meaning they will work for you inside your office, or you can hire them like around the world. So I have independent freight dispatchers, I would say, all over the world, right? So we had in-house dispatchers. So this is the idea is this. So if you have independent freight dispatchers, let's say out of the state, or let's say out of the country, now you providing, let's say, job for them, for example, and again, you contracting, right? So because you're not having these in the office, so what you will do is there becomes your subcontractor. So you contract with the independent freight dispatcher. This is how it goes, and definitely you can do that. Yeah, absolutely. So, and I remember, the other question was like, what about taxes? If they are like outside the country, what you will do is that obviously you will filing the 1099. So you will do in the 1099, and they will be, I don't know, let's say they're in Canada, they will be, earning, they will be doing their taxes, I would say, in their in their country. So if they have independent freight dispatcher, let's say I have many students that they are outside the United States and they are independent freight dispatchers, but then they have businesses in the United States. So the options go, there are different options. So hope this helps. Let's see. Okay, let me go here. Do you recommend in-house dispatch team or building a team virtual? Building a team virtually. This is my thing. So even my executive assistants, they are in Philippines. So we build business, with I would say, because we're digitalizing this industry, let's say it that way, and obviously it makes sense to have people, or team members working virtually. And again, there are advantages and disadvantages, but I have the systems and I have no problem working with people overseas. So everything boils down to systems and how you manage people. Yeah, absolutely, building team virtually. That's my recommendation. So okay, let's go here. Okay. Are reefer box truck loads earlier to find? Hmm. Not sure about this question. Are reefer box truck loads earlier to find? Well, not. So we have this box truck, and then you have a reefer in it. Yes, we have those, the box truck, but the question is not clear. So let me see if I can take. Let me see this. Kiflom says, hi, okay, nice video. Thank you. My question is, when you train your students, do you do live call to the brokers? I don't do, the brokers calls. And again, one of my students asked me this inside the training, but we are offering, like Q&A sessions like this. It's online and they have this information side of the training. And obviously we provide, ongoing support like this. When it comes to brokers, I don't do. I manage my companies. Like I'm more of a focus on my the import export side of the business, but I do have the independent freight dispatchers. They're doing in calling the brokers. And if you need to listen how we talk to brokers, then obviously you can. But we provide the scripts and everything that you need to talk to brokers. And even what we do is that we play a role model. So if a student says, I'm not comfortable talking to carriers, then I say, well, obviously I'm a carrier, so let's talk. And then we play, role models with drilling, for example, and it can be done the same for the brokers. So thanks, Kamal. You're welcome. Let's see. You are the man. Thank you. Thanks for amazing. Okay, fantastic coaching program. Okay, it seems like you are one of my students. Okay, I think I'm guessing the name as well. Okay, okay. So let's see. Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, let me take this real quick. I think he's asking if river loads are harder to find. Oh, no, and the thing is that the thing for when it comes to reefer is that it's by appointments. So even in the bigger trucks, for example, right, reefer market, like it's by appointment. It's about 90% by appointment. So if you miss that appointment, you're in trouble. So be careful with that. Okay, let me come back to this. I have a 26. There you go. I told you 26. It's a common one. I have a 26 box truck. Is it possible to dispatch while I'm driving for myself? Yes, absolutely you can. And think about this. So you are driving right now. So you're not. Let's say you're an owner operator. But thing is that you are in the business so that you free yourself from the business, right? So let your business provide the resources you need so that you can live the life you want. That's my opinion, right? No offense, but what I'm trying to say is that instead of being in the business, be on the business, hire team, more trucks, for example. And this is where it gets, hiring people, independent freight dispatchers or in-house dispatchers, buying more trucks. Why not scaling, for example? Right. So maybe you just started and maybe you can say something like, come on, I just started, for example. I want to just test the water and see how it goes, and then I will build my business. Totally fine. And obviously, absolutely, you can dispatch loads. And since you guys have this 26, it's not a big truck. Any of you guys not in the flatbed market, why? What are the differences? If you are an owner operator and you are in the flatbed market, for example, there a lot of labor goes into it, chaining down, strapping, tarping, for example. With the box truck, it's easy. So yes, you can definitely do that. Okay. Yeah, there you go. So this is a river box truck loads easier to find. I would say the van may be a little bit easier to find, but the reefer and the dry, the one difference is that one is frozen, the other one is not. So I would say it's same. Okay. Let me have Larry's questions. What companies deal with new authorities, meaning brokers? Inside our training, we provide brokers list. They are the one who deal with the new authorities, meaning authorities in new MC numbers. So, and again, if you don't have that list, if you are new into this business and you have new authority, which is your new MC number, then you just just keep calling, never give up. It takes just it's a matter of calls. Somebody who has let's say MC with 6 months or a year, now you have brand new, and for the 6 month, for example, it may be one call or two calls, but for you it's about like maybe 10, 15, 20 calls. So let's say yes, Loli, yes. Okay, so yeah, I guessed it. So let's see. Okay, let's go. Which one would be easiest to work for? Both. I think you mean reefer or the drive-in. I would say both. Grace, I think you're one of my students. I remember Grace. Yeah, by last name. Very good. Thank you. Okay, so let's talk about this. What is detention? Good question. Obviously, somebody detains you. That is the detention. And what happens is that if you are an independent freight dispatcher, you work for a Prime Express. I'm just creating a scenario. What will happen is that you will book a load, and then you will dispatch a load to my driver, and then driver will go ahead and pick that load and then start delivering, right? So he's going to, let's say, Houston, Texas, and he arrives in Houston, Texas, and the receiver, they're not ready to unload him, for example. And what will happen is that usually manager or somebody will say, we just wait. Okay, so we have this 2 hours, and now I'm talking about the bigger truck since I'm in the flatbed market. Okay, so I'm not talking about the box truck. So it's like bigger trucks, semis. So what will happen is that we did a 2 hour allowance. So we just give 2 hours, and then if that passes, then detention starts. Meaning, basically, what you're saying is that, hey, I gave you 2 hours. You didn't your job. You didn't unload, me, for example, as a driver. Then what will happen is that you have to pay. So there are different detention fees. It depends on the carrier. Some will charge $35 per hour. Some people will charge, $250 per hour. It depends, right? So if you're thinking, oh, $250 for the detention, yes, there are some carriers that will be charging $250. So let's say it's $70 or $50 detaining for detention. So your truck there, you gave them 2 hours, additional hours for each hour, you will be charging, let's say, $50 per hour. That is a detention. So if somebody detains you, let's say, okay, I just started 2 weeks ago. Great. Okay, let me go here. Nurulai says, hello, brother. Hi. Greeting Kamal from Kyrgyzstan. Hello to Kyrgyzstan. Great country. Thank you. You're welcome. Absolutely. Could you answer, please? How can I call the brokers? Okay, staying in my country. Okay. Could you answer, please? How can I call to the broker or brokers staying in my country? Okay, so assuming you're saying, Kamal, I have independent freight dispatching company in the US, but I'm in the Kyrgyzstan. So what you will do is that you will be using load boards. You just log in and start calling brokers. Simple as that, right? So the only thing you need is the load board access. Hope this helps. Okay, so any box truck dispatchers you can recommend? Oh, I have a lot of students. They are, in the box truck, the business. So please email me. I will, give you the email address. This is the email address. Email me, and then I will share with my students, and then they will, contact you. So I have amazing students. So let's go back to comments. Let's see. Okay. Let's check this and let me see as far as time. Okay, we will have another 15 minutes. Okay, Abdul Hakim says, can skilled dispatcher, okay, living outside the US get employed by US based dispatching company? As an employee, definitely, yes. If yes, please share with us how channels to get that. Well, basically, I would say, joining the Facebook groups. That, how it goes. You joining the, Facebook groups, and then you start talking to carriers. And another one would be by recommendations. Another thing will be by joining the, like programs, for example. They will have a lot of, connections, and use that network, and you just leverage other people's network, and this is how it, gets right. So you connect with, one person, and then you get a lot of people. So by obviously doing let's say engaging the conversation inside the groups. So okay, let's see. Okay, please ask questions if you have. Let me see. Thank you for answering my question. You're welcome. If you don't mind, I have one more. Absolutely. So we have about 15 more minutes. So it's about the training. Is it something that you can master within 4 to 5 months if you give it a full time? Well, you can master within a couple of weeks. It doesn't take. Let me go in detail about this. Um, the and again, the program is, maybe you're confused about the program. It's about 5 weeks, right? It's about 45 days, and it doesn't require like 5 months or even months to learn this and get pro at this. For example, why is that? Because dispatching side of it is easy. It's finding a load. You just need using load boards, as I showed you. There's more in depth, obviously. You learn ins and outs of this load board. You really must be comfortable with using the load boards. And then what will happen is that then you will find a load and actually booking process. Booking process is actually when you talk to brokers, for example. And again, you need some skills, negotiation tactics, for example. When you're talking to brokers, then there's some things that they don't want to hear. That's and obviously, if you are making hundreds of calls per day, and then you're doing this for years, and you're making thousands of calls, and what works, what not, right? So we provide scripts for our students. But if you have the skills, for example, the negotiation tactics, then you start booking process, talking to brokers, agreed on a load, sends you the rate confirmation, you're good to go. The last part is actually dispatching. That's it. Dispatching, you're actually dispatching to the carrier's driver, or just the driver, for example. And that's it, right? But independent freight dispatching is more than this, because there is a business aspect of it, right? We're talking, two things at the same time. We're talking about like your skills, the dispatching skills, and now taking this dispatching skills and actually turning into a business. Now it becomes offering, and then you're offering to the world, for example. This is how it goes. But if your question is like, Kamal, yes, we're talking about these things already, my offering to the world, how long will it take? I have students that they get up and running within a couple of weeks. So, and then I have students that they never get started, for example. Different scenarios, right? So don't take me wrong. So if you say, Kamal, I give it a full time, it shouldn't take that long. So you get up and running within a couple of weeks. Okay. Drivers often view brokers as advertisers. Okay, trying to get one over drivers and screw them out of the money. Okay, what do you think is a fair percentage for a broker's dispatcher to take for a pay? Okay, the fair percentage for the brokers, and you said or brokers, or the dispatcher to take for a pay. So if a dispatcher, I'll come back to brokers because they're a little bit complicated. And the dispatch, and obviously I'm not a broker, right? So the dispatcher, and again, we just talk about this different aspect of it, dispatching aspect of it, and the business aspect of it. So if you're just offering your service, meaning finding a load, booking a load, and dispatching a load, and obviously when you're starting out, when you're new, then it will be fair to charge, let's say, the carriers, by offering your services to carriers, let's say anywhere between 6% to 10%. That is fair charge goes from the independent freight dispatcher charges carrier. Now, when it comes to carrier charging the broker, and obviously when I say carrier obviously works with dispatchers. That means all together, right? Dispatchers slash carriers charging brokers. And again, brokers, they are, as you said perfectly, they're advertisers. They know marketing ins and outs of marketing, and they're really good at acquiring customers. Who are the customers? Shippers. And if you, let's say, if you have the skills, for example, to build the skills, how to talk to shippers, and you know the process, how to acquire them, then now you don't need brokers, right? So if you're a carrier, then you can work directly with the shippers. So, and then there are a lot of cases that, people working with directly with shippers because they have marketing skills, or you can say advertising skills. So it will depend as far as fair percentage, the lane, for example, which lane we're talking about, right? North, east, west, for example. Let's talk about the from Atlanta to Houston, Texas, for example. And I know that for full load, let's say, and I'm in the flatbed market, let's say, it pays 3,000. I know because I have shippers, and I know that this lane can pay up to, I don't know, 4,500 up to $5,000, for example. It depends on the freight, and it depends on the relationship you have with the shippers. And don't take these numbers seriously, saying, "Come on, well, there's no such a thing, something 5,000 from Atlanta to Houston." Like, I have cases like 7,000, for example. Different story, but the fair percentage that you as a carrier and dispatcher can charge, and obviously if this broker, if negotiation skills and tactics, then if pays 3,000, and definitely you can get up to 3,700, for example, extra, let's say $500 or $700. That doesn't say anything about the broker's cut. For example, maybe broker's losing money to give this load to you. Maybe he's paying out of pocket so that you can move this load. Maybe shipper paid $2,800, and now it's just like he kept this load, but now shipper just on his neck, like, hey, you need to dispatch this load. What happens is then broker must assign this load to a carrier. See, it's different. But I don't know, but maybe I know the numbers, like approximate numbers, but I'm not going to share that number because maybe it's not the numbers that you're looking for. So I'm not going to confuse. I'm not a broker. So brokers, they know their cuts. Okay. I'll just give you the example. So I have a friend of mine. He's in a drive-in market. He's also a broker, so he charges about like 18%. So, and again, his cut is 18% average, right? But he has different shippers. So it's really complicated when it comes to brokers. Okay, so I hope this answered your question. Okay, let me take this. Okay, are you okay? Are you a dispatcher? No, I'm not a dispatcher. I own a couple of businesses, but I do have my dispatchers, independent freight dispatchers. So, but I started as a dispatcher though. Okay, then I bought my trucks and then became a carrier. So now I'm switching the gears a little bit. What I would say is switching business models, getting rid of my carrier side of the business and specifically focusing on teaching, independent freight dispatching, and import export business. So, okay, let's go here. Should we ask broker to send rate con, which is rate confirmation? And again, for those of you who don't know rate confirmation, it's a document comes from the broker. You agreed on a rate, right, from Atlanta to Houston, Texas, and let's say it's 3,000. Now your broker agreed, and your carrier agreed. You agreed. That is a rate confirmation. It's a piece of document. It's important document. Okay, so should we ask broker to send Raycon directly to owner operator? You can, yeah, absolutely. Why not? So if you work for that owner operator, then obviously you can do that. You can give an email address and then he can send, right? So this question, there may be people asking like why I'm getting this and then sending to the owner operator is that you're keeping records, right? You are think again, you are independent dispatcher. So then your broker will send to owner operator, but then you will be asking from owner operator to send to you. So why is that? So you need to keep record of this carrier, because independent freight dispatchers, they are management / consulting businesses, right? So hope this answered your question. Okay, let's go Good luck. Okay. Semi nice. Congratulations. Okay. Hi, Kamal. Let's go here. Vahan says, "Hey Kamal, thanks for your videos. You're welcome. Okay, always useful, informative. Good. Do you think it's realistic to start independent truck dispatching with the 4 small box trucks, 16 foot? Okay, for the small box trucks. Okay, here's the thing. I'm not into this box truck market, so I don't know as far as business model goes. So I know the load boards in the industry, let's say, but I'm not into this box truck. So I never bought them. Maybe I think you should ask this question to a carrier who has these box trucks and learn from them. But I have a lot of families and friends. They are in the box truck and they have no problem. But the 16 and then 26, whatever the box truck is, the tactic. And again, I'm glad that I remember this. So the with the box trucks, if you really good at marketing, for example, then obviously I would recommend contacting with distribution centers. If you really wanted to make money, you can use ins and outs of this load board. You will make money, but I think it's not scalable. And why? Because as I said, truckstop.com and then DAT, they have these subscriptions, but the customer avatar they have, or the market they are going after, is big trucks, right? And this is why they designed this whole thing, which is load boards, or marketplace for the freight. It's just designed for big trucks. Now, obviously, you come in with the business model and going into this. Yes, you will make money, right? Because there are some brokers now, understanding this, business model, and then they said, okay, we're not going to just, with shippers, they have this tons and a lot of freight as far as for the semi trucks, but there are some distribution centers that they need box trucks, for example, and yes, they will need. Since we're talking about distribution centers, I think you will make a lot of more money when you just directly go to distribution centers if you are a carrier and get contract with like say Ashley distribution centers, Floor and Decor, for example, right? So I just gave an example that we bought the furniture from Ashley, and the guy delivered, I see, as a box truck, and then it wasn't say anything Ashley, and then we just got into the conversation and said I'm a contractor, so he owns about 16 trucks, box trucks. There you go. So what he did is that, in the basic way of saying this, they go to distribution centers and said, hey, I have this many trucks, can I deliver? And then there's like process they go through. That's it. That's how it works. So okay. Oh, Julio, hi, one of my students. Can you use TriHall for this example? Okay. So as far as box trucks, I think Gilham says, Kiflom says, thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Let's say go here. Julie, I will come back real quick. Does the rate confirmation can change if we are a team? And again, since we're talking about the box truck, then I'm assuming that question is if you are a box truck, and obviously yes. Why is that? The brokers will pay more because it's expedited, right? So it's a rush order. So, and they're leveraging this, and they understand this now. You have an extra, driver right next to you, and then he needs to get paid. And obviously, yes, it will change. So let me see. Let me take real quick this. Are you aware of the box truck load board selectors? Yes, this is what I was talking about. So I'm, not familiar with this, but I hear this from my friends and families, and then from my students that select this. But I think it's expensive. That's what I know. But I think this is designed specifically for box truck. So let me come back. Julia's question. Okay, Julia, here's the thing. So we'll go to load board real quick. So let me do this. Okay, make it even bigger. There you go. Let me check out your question so you can see. And again, this is the power only. Let's go back and we put let's say straight box truck. Okay, and then we will put EH. Okay, then we don't put anything destination. Let's go search. Okay, so for when you do this, and this is why I'm doing this, let me let me go ahead and turn this off real quick. Okay, banners, let's say, hide this so you can see. There you go. So I'll do it in two different ways. With this, you won't see the try hall feature, right? Why is that? Because you didn't specify the destination, so there's no the algorithm, I think, for this load book, doesn't pick up. Let's say, hey, we need this 2 points, origin and destination. So what will happen then we will do this. We'll just go, and then I'll give you an example. Let's say from Atlanta, and then we say Houston, for example. Okay, Houston. Let's say, there you go, and then we click search. Okay, so now we don't have results, and again, as I said, when we started this, live, is that today is Friday, so there's not much, load posted by brokers because we have, weekends. So the best try hall, this is what it is, and this where DAT will give you more information about saying, hey, this is the market you're looking for. This is the direct, right, from Atlanta to Houston. So this is what you get. But these are the other states with cities that you can go from Atlanta to, then from that state or city go to Houston. This is what it is. And then they will have this breakdown. So instead of making about $2,000, you're making about $4,000, right? So hope this helps. Okay. Let me come back. There you go. Let me go to comments and see as far as time goes. Oh, we already an hour. Okay. Let me see. Let me take this question and then we'll end the live stream. Let's see. Vahan says, thank you so much. Yes, you're welcome. I'm considering to take an independent freight dispatching business intensive course. Do you recommend for beginners? About 90% of our students, they are beginners. They don't they come with zero experience. And we'll actually prefer working with zero experience. And because it's the easiest, I think it's easy to teach them if they don't have anything as far as trucking, as far as the lingo goes, anything. They don't know anything, zero. This is the best option for us so that, we can teach them. Yeah, obviously that, yes. So let's see. Yeah, you're welcome. Absolutely. So guys, I will just give another 5 minutes. So if you guys have questions, let me know. So if not, you guys asking about the course, so there will be a link below this video for the DAT Power. There will be the links for the course. So if you wanted to, and again, if you have any questions, let me come back to this. This is the email address. Let me know, and we will end this live stream, and we will have a next one on Tuesday. So, and again, last Friday or last Tuesday we did about 6 p.m. So we're changing time to see how many people because of the time difference. So we're still doing research. So what I'll do is I'll stop sharing, and I'm assuming you guys get a lot of value out of this. Please let me know in the comment below. And again, this is the email address. So if you wanted to send me an email, ask me a question, it was really I joined the conversation with you guys. The engagement is awesome. Thank you. And then I'll see you on Tuesday, and we'll go from there. Thank you.